You know, for as long as I can remember, I've never felt like I belong anywhere. I can never point to one place and say, this is who I am, this is where I belong, and this is who I'll be. So, I was born in Dublin Hospital in 2002 to two Nigerian parents. I've spent most of my life in Ireland, but from 2011 to 2016, I got the opportunity to move to Nigeria and spend some time there. My parents thought it was important to have an understanding of where I'm from and connect with my roots, and I thought this was important, and I agreed with them. It was a tough transition for me moving from Ireland to Nigeria. We're talking a new way of life, new culture, new friends, new school, new food, new everything. It was a tough transition. But it was also during this time in my life where I got into playing the saxophone. I got into acting. I got into singing. I got into dancing. I really leaned into my creativity. There was a culture of excellence whilst I was in Nigeria, and I bought into this and I leaned into it. And I feel this period of my life has really played a really key and central role in the person I am today. And I'm grateful for that period. 2016 came around and it was time for me to go back to Ireland. Parents felt it was the right time. I reconnected with my roots. I'd spent the time I needed in Nigeria to understand where I'm from and just what has shaped me and why I'm here. And it was a great time, but I did feel it was time to go. During this period, as I'm leaving, I remember not feeling any sense of sadness or despair from leaving. I felt this feeling of indifference to it all, like this just being a part of life. And as I've gotten older and I think back to different periods where, it was a time of change, there's always been this continual feeling of indifference to it all. Whether that be the first time I moved to Nigeria, coming back to Ireland, moving to Madrid for 2 years for college, moving out of my home and moving here to Dublin now. It's always been this feeling of indifference and just accepting as a part of life. And I've always seen it as a strength, but now it feels like something is missing. Why don't I feel a strong connection to anywhere? Why don't I feel like I belong anywhere? Why is it so easy for me to just close a chapter and move on to the next? It's a question that's really started to be on my mind and one that I ponder about, and I'm trying to figure it out. What is it? Where do I truly feel connected to? Where do I belong? Because so far, I don't feel like I belong anywhere. I have memories in many places. I have beautiful family, people. But if I had to leave, I just seem to find it so easy. A needless transition. And I don't understand why. One of the things I've always thought about when it comes to why I don't feel this deep sense of connection to any one place is language, is culture, it's true connection to that way of life. When I think about Nigeria, yes, I spent time there from 2011 to 2016, but ultimately I haven't been in Nigeria since 2018. I'm from a tribe called Igbo, the Igbo people, and I can't speak the language. I've never been to my home state, my home village in Nigeria. And so that wall is there as well. That lack of language, that lack of culture, deep understanding of that way of life. I was never there. I've never been there. And I don't understand it deeply. I can read all the books, I can ask the questions, but ultimately, that wall is always going to be there unless I go myself, I go and spend time there for a certain amount of time. And maybe I could potentially feel that connection. And then I think here to Ireland. Yes, I was born here. I've spent a large part of my life, majority of my life here. But then once again, I don't speak Irish. I don't look like I'm Irish. I grew up in a culturally Nigerian household, so a lot of the childhood memories synonymous with an Irish child's experience and upbringing I missed out on or I wasn't aware of. those cultural cues and things that we just know. I don't know a lot of them. And so that wall exists there as well. There's a wall on both sides for me. And perhaps it's just going to take, if that even is the case, effort to break them down. But can they be broken down at this stage? I don't know. And do I want them to be broken down? I said previously that I find a strength in not feeling deeply connected to one place, region, or country. It's that adaptability, that flexibility that I guess I can latch onto. I could be anywhere in the world. You could tell me to move to China, Colombia, Luxembourg, Sweden, wherever, South Africa, Senegal, wherever. And I probably would go and I probably would be fine because that indifference is just there. It just doesn't seem to mean much or move me at this moment in time. The idea of packing up everything and going and starting anew somewhere else. It's a strength, but there are times where I wish that I did have that deep connection. I see other people when you look at them, you just know he's from here, he's from there, he's from that place. They're deeply tied. They know all the ins and outs. They know everything there is to know. I've never had that in my life. And that's fine. I guess there are a lot of people like that in this life. And it's just one of those things where you have to accept. That's one of the things I've learned to accept. Or I've been pondering about. Where do I belong? Where is my corner in this world? For a lot of people, that corner is chosen for them. But equally, for a lot of people, they have to create that corner. Their corner is not a country, not a region, not a place. It's the friends the friendships they build. The relationships with family that they build and nurture and hone. They are the masters of their own fate, the masters of their own culture, the masters of the place where they belong. It wasn't picked for them, they chose it. And I guess that's something I have to do. I have to choose. I have to find where my corner could potentially be and begin to plant those seeds and water those plants. So, I don't feel like I belong anywhere. And that's fine. But I can create my own corner and make it something beautiful. And I will try my hardest to do so.